So it is time for the monthly Q&A for June. And first off, I just want to say before we get into this upcoming weekend is the 4th of July. So for those of you out there who are going to have fun on 4th of July in America, have a great one. Hope you all have an excellent 4th of July for those of you celebrating it. And also, if you have any questions for the Q&A for next month, leave them in the comment section down below or the Discord. Q&A monthly questions. So, you can leave them there also. And if there are any questions that I may have by chance forgotten, please be sure to let me know. I will definitely cover them next month and answer your questions. Also, we'll be back on regular schedule after this. So, that means that there will be a couple of videos after this one that will come up within the next few hours. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. And also, we will start the Q&A with YouTube comments, and then we will finish them off with the Discord comments. So, let's go ahead and start off this Q&A. Elizabeth McAden asks, a few questions for next time. If Mario saw people trying to break into Nintendo stores, what would he and the Smash cast do? Well, they'd smash them. They'd completely destroy anybody that would be doing that. I mean, they wouldn't let that happen. Who do you think will fight Beerus when Death Battle resumes Season 7? Hades from Saint Seiya, Sailor Galaxia from Sailor Moon, or Jean Grey from Marvel? I'd probably say Hades, but that's just my thoughts on that one. So if I had to guess, I would say Hades. Would Pikachu, Espeon, Pichu, and Incineroar beating the Ace Os be more believable than Team Ruby beating them? Yes, it's very believable in comparison to Team Ruby beating them because, you look at Pokemon, it's a much stronger world than what Ruby is. I mean, you'll especially see that in the Pokemon manga, but also, you have Incineroar, who is Satanic Tony the Tiger, and he's going to beat them up, and then he'd just be like, they're not great! Just say it. Because, the Aesops suck. Who do you think would win between Shazam and He-Man? Well, Shazam has been on par with Superman. He-Man, while he's very powerful, he's not that strong. Like, he's strong, but he's not as strong as Superman, So, I definitely would have to say Shazam is the stronger character. I think he'd beat He-Man. Good questions. Donnie Pack asks, so, for your Q&A, which weapon would you want from Ruby, or what's your weapon type? I'd want Neo's umbrella because I don't think anybody would really, see an umbrella coming to, be able to take him out. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to see somebody fighting with an umbrella, especially one that can, deflect explosives? I mean, that would be amazing. Weapon type, I'd probably say like a longsword. I do like stuff like that. Andrew Key Russian asks, here's something for fun. If the show Ruby sank, metaphorically speaking, what be the 3 objects you save? Not people, more like their weapons, Grims, as a pet, maybe Atlas robot, etc. And don't worry, Neo will be waiting on the safe boat with Jean. Oh, well, if I had to say, if I were to save an object, well, since Neo's there, she's going to have her own umbrella. So, if I had to really save something, I would pick Sun's gunchucks. Those things are awesome. I mean, I love those things. And then after that, I'd push Jean off the boat. Just saying. That's just me. Brandy Miller asks, favorite Mortal Kombat male and female? Mine, Melina, and Noob Saibot. Very interesting choices. What do you think of the Sindel retcon? Personally, I don't like it. So, my favorite male character from Mortal Kombat is Scorpion. I've always been a Scorpion fan. And, always loved the, get over here! I always loved that. And then Scarlet is my favorite female character. Retcons, I personally don't like them, and I don't like the Sindel retcon. Then again, to be fair, I don't like retcons in series in general. And the only time I do like retcons, though, is if they retcon the retcon. You know what I mean? But aside from that, no, I don't like retcons at all, period. And it's just really bad for stories when that happens. Good question. Tamara Sasha asks, I have 2 questions. Name your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character that includes any cares from the spin-offs or monsters. And the second one is, if you were trapped in quarantine with Barbara, Miles, or Aaron, which would you choose? Oh, God. That's more like which one of those 3 would drive me more insane. But my favorite is Aki. I've always liked her story. I do feel really bad to know that her arc was actually kind of shafted, because there was actually supposed to be a arc about the cult, the psychic cult that she was in, but of course Carly, the voice actress over in Japan for Carly, Carmine's character, she actually was in a cult. And so because of that, they chopped it off, which was very unfortunate. But what we got out of Aki was fantastic. I love her character. And, she is literally the Black Rose herself. And Black Rose Dragon's one of my favorite cards of all time. In fact, it is my favorite synchro monster, besides Stardust Dragon. Those are my two favorites. And I have an ultimate first edition Black Rose Dragon. So if you look at what they're going for right now, $305 to $500 near mint, and mine is near mint. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know that's value. I mean, Ghost Rare's a lot more expensive, but you know what? I'll still take what I can get off of that. And then, of course, when it comes to favorite monsters in general, though, I do love the Shadow monsters. It's been one of my favorite archetypes, and Shadows are very popular anyways. I remember my friends and we went to the sneak peek, and we were like, dude, we got to get those Shadows. Like, everybody was basically fighting for Shadow cards. And I remember I got a ultimate first edition L Shadow Construct that I still have that my friends were really wanting off of me. And then, of course, not long after that, I traded a lot of my artifact stuff for Windows because I got the rest of the constructs and the Windows, and I beat a lot of people. I went to regionals, had a great time of Shadows. Like, I've had a lot of fun with a lot of decks in the past, Prophecy being one of the fun ones, but Shadows are most definitely a personal favorite alongside Trickstars. Those are two of my all-time favorite meta decks I ever played. And when it comes to who would I, be in quarantine with, I'd probably pick Erin because I feel like she'd be the one to least likely drive me insane in comparison to Barbara and Miles. But that's just my thoughts on that one. Good question. Mr. Lonely Soul asks, name your top 3 favorite waifus. Now the fun begins. So, my waifus, Mordred, Lucina, and Esdeath. Kiss one, marry one, and kill one. Oh, God. Alright, so I'd have to definitely kiss Mordred. I love Mordred. And so, kissing Mordred would be what I would do. Now, here's the interesting one. So who would I marry then? Well, I gotta go with Lucina. Lucina's like the dream girl, in my opinion. Like, she is everything I would want in a woman, realistically. I mean, of course, nobody gets everything they want. But, if I had to say I had a dream woman, yes, Lucina would match that entirely. And then I would kill Esdeath. I mean, while I love Esdeath's character, that power is terrifying, and if you were to get on her bad side, well, you can't oppose that, really. I mean, at least people in the real world can't. So, Esdeath would be terrifying, so I would have to say, you gotta go Esdeath. And if I were to change things, if I lived in an apocalypse like in my life, I don't know. What would I change? I'd probably change, my ex-fiance, ever meeting her. I would change that. Because that was hell that I went through with that relationship, and I'm glad that I'm not a part of it now. Also, the mental scarring. Yeah, I would change that. I would have never met her, in my opinion. I would never have met her at all. Floof asks, have you watched Chronexia and the Eight Seals? If so, what are your thoughts on why it was shit? I haven't watched it, so I can't say right now. Have you watched Tower of God? If so, what were your thoughts on it? Why was it shit? Well, I haven't watched it either, so I can't say, but I've heard things about it. And then another question for Floof: have you watched Mawaru Penguin Drum? If so, what were your thoughts on how amazing it was? Well, I haven't actually watched it, but I know you've recommended it to me, so I will try to actually get to it soon and then give my thoughts on it. But yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet. But good questions, man. Good questions. So Johnny Q asks, who would win, Justice from Guilty Gear or Salem from Ruby? Salem's going to lose. Because what does Salem really have as opposed to Justice? Like, you look at Salem. Oh, I'm immortal. Okay, so, how does that prevent you from actually being able to be sealed away or be beaten? Because you can still be beaten. Justice, I think, would still win because Salem just sucks. Minato Arisato asks, would you rather watch Rooster Teeth content for the rest of your life or have Neo hate you? I gotta go with the second option because I can't stand watching Rooster Teeth content now. If it was just surely the good stuff, fine, but it's all terrible now, so I'd have to go with Neo hating me. Good question. Grim Rose asks, if Emerald turns completely evil and works alongside fiercely protects Cinder Volume 8, would you be okay with it? I mean, I could see it really happening. So, I mean, you know, that's fine to me. It doesn't really matter to me, honestly. If it happened, it happened. I mean, that's just kind of the way I see it. Old man from Scene 24 asks, Stop! He who approaches the bridge of death must answer these questions. 3. Ere the other side he sees. What is your name? Draco Lord Nick 67. What is your quest to save entertainment and pop culture in anime? What is the future of Ruby once Rooster Teeth is gone? Well, it's probably going to sit on a shelf because that's probably all, you know, AT&T is going to do with it. They're probably just going to sit there on a shelf until they feel like rebooting it. That's what I bet will happen. Just saying. James95 asks, have you seen an anime called A Certain Magical Index and A Certain Scientific Railgun? And if you have, what do you think of it? I actually haven't, but I'll give him a check and let you know what I think. Do you think Crow or Ironwood is going to die? I think both of them probably will. I think Crow is probably the most likely candidate, but I think Ironwood may die for some stupid reason because I feel like if they kill him off, they're going to do it in a dumb way. You know, it's Rooster Teeth. They're going to do something stupid. Do you think Mercury and Emerald will become good? There's a possibility. I think there's a chance for redemption for those characters, but, you know, seeing that a lot of villain characters, you know, none of them get redeemed, so in Ruby, I don't think it's going to happen. Bigot Sandwich asks, any chance we'll get a text channel for discussing video games? Well, guess what? It's up now. Video game chat. You asked for it. You've got it. You can talk about video games, help each other there, do whatever you like. So, you know, go for it. Have a brawl. Have a good time. So, next question. Anime Eek 116 asks, hey Draco, what do you think of my OC Forsaken? I think that he is pretty cool looking in terms of design. Definitely an edgy story from what you've told me about him. So yeah, good design, just extremely dark and edgy. Also, what do you think of him marrying Neo and having a kid with her? Hey man, you do you. I mean, you know, you write your fan fiction however you want. You know, you don't have to ask my permission, dude. You do you, man. You do you. It's perfectly fine. Also, what do you think of young Ruby, Yang, and Forsaken going to Narnia? Well, they'll probably have a good time until they see the Jesus allegory lion get killed. You know, then the kids are going to cry. That's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. Anime Eek 116 then asks, what do you think of the Warframe song We All Live Together, and do you think Ruby would have benefited from something like stuff from Fortuna from Warframe? Oh, I think it's a great song. You know, I really do enjoy the song. I think that it's all about uniting as one. I think it's great. And, you know, to help each other. And then, of course, Ruby with Fortuna, oh, yeah, they'd probably learn something, you know, but, you know, it's also the writers of Ruby, so of course they're not going to teach them anything. But yes, realistically, I think they would learn from Fortuna. I think it would benefit them. But it's Ruby writer, so you can't put that hope in it. Mr. Lonely Soul asks, if you could pick an anime to put Neo in as an official character, what would it be? Oh, that's good. That's a good question. You know what? Put Neo and JoJo. I'd like to see what her stand would be. That'd be fantastic. You know, it might be something like her own semblance. I don't know. That'd be crazy though. That'd be interesting. I would actually like to see her in JoJo. That'd be something cool. Grimrose asks, have you watched an anime called Duraha or its second season, Duraha X2? If you have, what's your opinion on the characters and story? I think it's good. I've watched season 1. I haven't gotten around to season 2 yet. Izaya and Shizuo are my favorites. They are the perfect foils of one another, and when it comes to the characters, I just enjoy them. I enjoy the story itself with Duraha and learning about the Duraha, trying to get her head back. You know, I think it's a very interesting plot so far. Like I said, I haven't seen season 2 yet, but from what I've seen, yeah, I enjoy it, and I would definitely recommend it. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, Slow-Mo Guys or Mr. Beast? I definitely have to go with Mr. Beast, but, you know, that's just me. But yeah, definitely Mr. Beast. Jack XX asks, what's honestly the hardest game you've played? Oh, that's a good question. Dark Souls definitely is very difficult. I would probably say it might be Dark Souls. You know, one game that I've always enjoyed was the Fire Emblem franchise. I think where they kind of, you know, tripped you up is in what was it? Was it Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn? It was one of those. I'm trying to remember which one that they actually changed the difficulties of. So like normal was actually hard and hard was intense. Yeah, that was awful. I remember that. That was awful. Old man from Scene 24 asks, Danish cheese or cheese Danish? Well, cheese doesn't suit well with me, so I don't eat very much of it. My stomach can't handle it. I mean, dairy products are fine except for cheese. My stomach just cannot handle cheese well. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, well, it's my B-Day today, and I want to ask this question, given what we have seen with the Mika situation, and thus showing how scummy RT can be and how it can affect Ruby. Will it add in a new narrative to make themselves diverse enough to the point where Team Ruby becomes this moral busybody? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Guarantee you right now, Volume 7 will be very political. By the way, happy birthday, DJ Fly High. I know by the time you're seeing this, it's way past your birthday, but happy belated birthday. Hope you had a great day. But yes, Rooster Teeth, I do think that I think they're going to get more political. I think it's just going to get worse, so they just drive themselves into the ground and just cease to exist as a company. But very good question, man. Very good question. Old man from Scene 24 asks, Sino Alice is coming out in July. It's supposed to be a dark fantasy RPG game. Do you think you will try it out? If you've seen some of their ads around on YouTube, does it look interesting enough? Let's take a quick look here. Oh, we got some waifus here. You know what? I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a shot. Y'all pulled me in. I'd give it a shot. Minato Arisato asks, what is your opinion of Yun Yun from Konosuba? I like Yun Yun. I don't know. I actually do enjoy Yun Yun. I mean, me personally, I'm still a Megumi fan, but, I definitely do like Yun Yun. I don't know. Then again, I love Konosuba. Like, Konosuba, it's just such a good anime. But yes, Yun Yun is definitely a character I enjoy. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, who would you rather listen to, Bob Ross or Montium? I've listened to both. If I had to choose one over the other, probably be Monty. I don't know. Bob Ross is still a pretty big one, though. Minato Arisato asks, your top 10 favorite video games? That's a real good one. So, if I had to say Final Fantasy VII, definitely the original. I love Fire Emblem Awakening. It's my favorite Fire Emblem of all time. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which, when it comes to Legend of Zelda, most people say that Ocarina of Time is their favorite, which it is my favorite. I mean, I love it. This was a tough one, because when it comes to Pokemon, it's either between Pokemon Platinum or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or Fire Red and Leaf Green. Those are like the three I love the most. I probably have to go with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, though. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, love that game. Persona 3, I feel like it's the best Persona in my opinion. I also really enjoy Smash Bros. Smash Ultimate's my favorite. Then again, I love Melee. Melee's great. I love the Saints Row franchise. I kind of like Saints Row the Third because, it was whenever they got really wacky, but they didn't go, off the rails to the point that it wasn't good, like Saints Row 4. Because, God, Saints Row 4 was terrible. And then Sonic Adventure 2. I love that game. And, this game is addicting to me, but I love Left 4 Dead 2. Like 1 and 2. They're so much fun. I love them. But yeah, those are some of my favorites, I'd have to say. Good question, man. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, thoughts on this evolution? So I've seen this meme. Yeah, the Peck evolves into Kara, which evolves into Susan. It has to evolve their trait with the manager card. Yeah, because Karen's going to come over there and she's going to talk to your manager. And after that, she's going to become Susan. Oh, God. So bad. I can imagine that actually being a real Pokemon. That's the funny thing. Oh, man. Minato Arisato asks, imagine you're in town and on a date with the best girl, Neo, and suddenly this guy in the picture tries to flirt with her. What do you do? Oh, I have a good bug exterminator. His name is Yoshikage Kira, and all you would just hear is Killer Queen. Just bye-bye. Bites the dust. Oh, that'd be great. Old man from C24 asks, choose one. Turn any character real, but they become extremely shy. Be a main character in any show, but you stay as yourself. Fuck the person in your profile picture. Pat unlimited lollies, but the Fed's still out there. Light traps and not PK. So, I have to go with fuck the person in your profile picture because Neo's in my profile picture. So, I gotta go for the purple pill, man. That one's the way to go. Gotta give Neo some good times. You know what I mean? Oh man, couldn't avoid that one. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, which is more stunning and brave, Ruby or The Last of Us Part 2? Oh God. Ah. Ah. Oh man. If one had to be more stunning and brave, probably The Last of Us Part 2. Oh God. Man, Neil Cuckman, you're a horrible person. I can't stand him. Can't stand him, nor can I stand Sweeney. Not at all. Or Naughty Dog. Old man from Scene 24 asks, what do you think of this? Oh, the uwu metal. Well, here's what I think. Uwu! But yeah, no, it's really good. I actually like that official music video. That was awesome. That was really fun. Old man from Scene 24 goes on to ask, which Ruby character you want to put in a SCP foundation? Your favorite SCP can be more than one. Well, if I had to say, throw in Yang. She can go in a foundation. Screw her. She can be tortured for all I care. I hate that character. Can't stand Yang. She can go. So, my favorite SCP would probably be between SCP-11 PT or SCP-11 DE. Those would probably be my two favorites. Very good question. Metalord395 Opening Desk asks, for the Q&A for this month, 1. You were given the power to change 5 events in the Ruby universe so that it turns out better. What would you change? And 2. If you could spend the rest of your life in a fictional universe, what would it be? Well, that's a very good question. So first off, 4 events that I would change. 1. Anything after Volume 3. Anything. I would just be like, 4 through 7, let's change it all. But specifically, Volume 5, them staying in the room is horrible. That was just terrible. Because literally, you could just make the argument that Mistral is nothing more than a room. Like, there was no lore built upon it. I would have changed it, and I would have actually made it to where, they actually explored and had an adventure in Mistral. 2, change Adam, and 3, change Roman's death to where they didn't die. So 2 would be, to prevent Adam from dying. 3 would be prevent Roman from dying. 4, give Adam an excellent backstory. Actually treat him with respect. Him actually do well. And then, of course, 5 would be one of these 3 things. These are really big. 1, either have Adam kill Blake or Yang. Either one of them would have been fine. Probably, preferably, in my opinion, Yang. Another one I would have done would be change the entire Osmond Salem backstory, because that's just trash. Absolute garbage. Because that could have been done way better. Or just throw Maria out because she was completely useless. They had Crow who, knew about the Silver Eyes as well as Ozpin. Either of them could have explained it to Ruby. So Maria was entirely useless. Also, I would have probably changed all Volume 7 too, now I think about it. Oh lord, now I'm just coming up with more ideas on things I would change. Oh god. There's too many bad things of Ruby to think of just 5 specifically. Oh god. Because I would change all of Volume 7 too. Ah, god. I don't know. It's between the Salem Osmond backstory, Marie even existing as a character, or, Volume 7. I don't know. It's just tough. And then if I had to live in my own fictional world, I'd probably pick, I don't know, Pokemon, because that one would be fun. That wouldn't be a load of fun. Minato Arisato asks, what is the best and worst gacha game you ever played and why? Well, I can tell you right now, it was the Ruby Amenity Arena. I actually tried it recently just because I heard how bad it was. I thought I'd give it a shot. I was curious, and it's terrible. Absolutely abysmal. It's awful. Don't try it, I'm serious. Anime Eek 116 asked, did you know that Grimjow's MMD model was used for Ruby? If not, then look at this. Yeah, I've seen the edit. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. Old man from Scene 24 asks, which Ruby character would last in Dark Souls, even if they only lasted seconds? It'd probably be Weiss, because she'd be the only one to probably not charge in first, because everybody else would be dumb enough, especially Yang. Yang would be the first one to go. So I'd probably say Weiss, and then she'd get destroyed soon afterward. Mr. DJ Fly asks, Azure Lane or Arknights? Definitely Arknights. I've really gotten into it, although Azure Lane is good, but I've recently gotten into Arknights. It's very fun. Execute Order 66 asks, which waifu would you take with you during the apocalypse? Well, I would take Lucina because she knows how to fight. She would actually be a very good ally, someone to actually cooperate and try to protect me during the time of the apocalypse and, have my back if I needed it. And also, bunny girl Lucina is just absolutely adorable. I love her. Joseph the Hermit asks, by the way, my question for Draco. What is your opinion on Arknights? Does it represent the human hybrid people racism and the battle to survive thing better than Ruby did? 2, if any of the Ruby producers found out about Arknights, what do you think the reaction will be like? Will they try to make an Arknights inspired Ruby game? If so, how do you think it's gonna be like? Well, I do think that Arknights is way better. It represents a lot of what you brought up, a lot better than what Ruby could ever even do. Secondly, if the Ruby producers found out about the game, they'd be like, oh god, it needs to be censored! Oh no! They'd freak out over it. And yeah, they'd probably try to copy it, but make it a very watered down and terrible version of the game. That's probably what they would do. Good questions, man. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, Ruby songs you think could be made into heavy metal and which bands would play it? Example, Weiss's Volume 4 song, but sung by Disturbed. I think that Die could be done by Metallica. Now that would be cool. Sacrifice would probably be done by Disturbed, actually. And I could see that. Those are two that come off the top of my head that I think would be really, really good. Silhouette of Kid asks, are you hyped about ReZero Season 2? What do you think of the series and any favorite characters? I actually do enjoy ReZero, and yeah, I'm actually very excited for Season 2. Now, when it comes to favorite characters, of course, who doesn't like Rim? I think everybody can say that they like Rim, or at least most people can. And, we all know what happened to Rim, though. And then Amelia. I've always liked Amelia. And, while a lot of people, usually they're like, best girl is, Rim because she's, the girl that's got your back. Amelia's that girl that I've always liked the most. I don't know. She's the one that I've always just particularly enjoyed. I don't know. I've really liked her. I mean, it's not that I didn't like Rim or anything. I do. But I've just enjoyed Amelia the most out of any of the characters in it. But I do think it's a great series and definitely excited for more of it. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, who would you say, in your opinion, has gone full retard by going woke? Definitely Soiny and Naughty Dog, Rooster Teeth, Marvel. Those are definitely some that come to mind. Most definitely Hollywood, 100%. They definitely have. Metalord 395 opening desk asks, if Monty Ohm was still alive, do you think he would have sided with Vic? Oh, that's a very good question. Personally, I think he would have. Now, my reason for that is because he seemed to be a sensible person, and I think that he would have looked at things, and I think he definitely would have sided with him. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know the man, but by what I've seen out of him, I think he would have sided with him. But that's just me. Had he been alive today, I do think he would have sided with Vic, though. But that's just my opinion. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, if you could take a group of anime characters and replace Ruby characters with them, who would they be? Oh, I don't think I'd want to do that because it would hurt so many characters. God. But if I had to say, let's put Ragna in there. Let's let him show up everybody. Let's put Dio in there. Let's let him show up everybody. Let's put Mirko in there. I think that she would show people up. And let's put Esdeath in there. Because, I mean, you put a lot of these characters in there, and what is anybody going to do? I mean, if you put Esdeath in there, I can guarantee you right now, Salem? What is a Salem? Who cares? She'll just freeze her. Immortality? What's that to being frozen forever? Oh. Minato Arisato asks, your top 10 favorite male anime characters? Oh, no, this is a good one. So, I definitely have to go with Vash the Stampede. Trigun is one of my favorite anime. I love that series. And Vash, he's so good. While he can be wacky and zany from time to time, he's got his serious moments, and he's a real badass. I gotta say, Vash the Stampede, you don't mess with this man, that's for certain. And then, another one is Izaya from Duraha. I like him because he's clever. He's a manipulator, but at the same time, he's a troll. He's that kind of person that, you make deals with, but at the same time, you don't get on his bad side either. he's a great character. Another thing I gotta say when talking about Izaya is I like the relationship between him and Shizuo because Shizuo and him they have that big conflict and they hate each other, but it's just so good seeing them fight each other. Like whenever they go at it. Shizuo is another one of my favorites because he's someone that while he has anger issues, I mean the things that he went through, the strength that he has, he is so powerful. It's nuts. I mean, but I like the guy. I like him. He's great. I think that he has such enjoyable moments in Duraha from what I've seen. I mean, he's just so good, and his humor. It's just great. And then when it comes to another great series, Outlaw Stars, Gene Starwind. I love Gene. Gene has always been one of my all-time favorite characters in any anime, period. I mean, him, his story, how he was afraid of space even. And I like seeing him overcome that fear as well as trying to find out the secret behind Melfina. I thought that was great. I love Outlaw Star, and I always think about that theme every single time, the opening to that anime, every single time I think of it. Spike Spiegel is also another one of my all-time favorite male characters. I mean, you want to talk about another badass male character, it's definitely Spike. One that I think a lot of people could relate to, but at the same time, Spike, he's just so good. You could learn from his character. And, the struggle that he went through with the Syndicate and everything with Julia as well, like, his story is excellent. Another character that I like is Joseph Joestar. Not just the young, but also the old versions of Joseph Joestar, because I love seeing his story back in Battle Tendency. It's either one of those stories of you love it or you hate it, but to me, I really love Joseph. I want to talk about a character that I feel I could relate to a lot is Joseph Joestar. His wackiness back in Battle Tendency, and then how he is as an old man as well. He's just so good. I love Joseph. And then, of course, Soma Yukihira. Now, I've always liked Soma. Food Wars is a series I got into a little over a year ago. I absolutely love this series. And, one thing that this series does well is the characters. Yeah, the whole thing is interesting with Food Wars, but I think the thing that really entices me to the series is the characters. Soma is a character that has balls. Like, whenever he challenged Kojima, that was a ballsy move. I gotta give him credit. And seeing him develop even from there, I mean, Soma's a great character. I mean, he's someone that I love his character. He's fantastic. And of course, we can't forget Dio. Dio is just a character in anime, period, that to this very day I love, because it's Dio. Kono Dio da! I love Dio. And of course, nobody could forget Zevaldo! His stand, which, God, Dio's so good. I love his character. He's a great villain in JoJo. And, not only just looking at him as a villain, but just personalities, character traits. I mean, he's fantastic. He's devious, but you can't help but love the guy. And the world, the design is so good. I mean, I just love Dio. He's great. Another one of my all-time favorite male characters is Seto Kaiba. Because, he's got money. Screw the rules. He's got money. I mean, Seto Kaiba is fantastic. Obviously known for the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I mean, when anybody thinks, Kaiba, they think dragons, they think blue eyes, and then they also think Obelisk the Tormentor because, some of the best moments with Obelisk were with Kaiba. In fact, I think they were probably the best moments, But Seto Kaiba, always loved his character. I always loved how he was that prick, but, Kaiba's always been a character I've loved. And, in fact, I've always thought he was a fantastic duelist in the anime. But, of course, another character I love is Lelouch v. Britannia. I mean, seriously, Lelouch, I love Code Geass. And Lelouch's character from the beginning to the end, he always was one that, man, I always loved his tactics. He's so good. I mean, even with the times that he failed, he still overcame them. I mean, he was amazing. And the finale is beautiful. The finale to R2 is just glorious. Love it. But yeah, those are my favorite male characters. Very good question. Falstrom Jaeger asks several questions this month for the Q&A. What are your thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077? Do you think it'll go woke like Vampire Masquerade 2 seems to be going, or do you think it'll be good? Speaking of Cyberpunk, what cybernetic upgrades would you give yourself if they were available? another Cyberpunk thing. If Persicums from Chobits were real, would you buy one? Maybe a custom order one. Also, the most difficult question: drink gasoline or blow an AIDS patient? Ooh. All right, so first off, I'm excited for Cyberpunk. I mean, I think Cyberpunk 2077 looks fantastic from what I've seen. So I'm excited. I don't think it'll go woke. And the reason why I say that is because CD Projekt Red, they listen to their fans. They keep up with them. So I don't think it'll go woke. So I mean, we'll see when we get the game, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think it will. But that's just my opinion. I think it'll be a fantastic game because that's what it looks like it's going to shape up to be. But we'll see how it goes. Speaking of Cyberpunk, what cybernetic upgrades would you give yourself? Well, if they were available, definitely better eyesight. I wear glasses in real life, so yeah, cybernetic eyes, better eyesight. Also, Persicums from Chobits. Yeah, I would probably buy one. Yeah, maybe a custom order. Yeah, I'd probably do that. Oh, and for that last question, give me the gasoline. I would rather drink the gasoline. It'd be disgusting, but just give me the gasoline. Just give me the gasoline. That's just my opinion, though. I'd rather take the gasoline. But anyways, Mr. DJ Fly High asks, in your weaker moments, what will be the one thing that you will miss from Rooster Teeth once it gets absorbed by Cartoon Network? For me, it will be Monty and his memories. No, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that'll be the one thing that everybody might miss. Definitely Monty and his memories. No, I 100% agree. I think that'll probably be the only thing I'll really miss. But yeah, definitely that. I agree. Mr. DJ Fly then asks, what do you think of Meta Runner, the series, and could it rival Ruby? Probably. I mean, it's really not that hard to beat Ruby. Not from what it's become now. So, yeah, no, I think Meta Runner has a shot. I think it does. I think it has a shot. Mr. DJ Fly then asks, can you imagine Chaz and Ruby? What are you talking about? Mantle is Chaz. They already had it. Oh, man. Old Man from C24 asked, do you like Digimon? If yes, got a favorite? Yeah, I do like Digimon. My favorite is actually War Greymon. It's always my favorite Digimon. But yeah, definitely. War Greymon was always the best in my opinion. Mr. Lonely Soul asked, who would win in a fight, Miles Luna or our goddess Neo? Miles just gonna sit there and scream and drink his soy milk while Neo kicks the shit out of him. So yeah, Neo's gonna win. Old Man from C24 asks, who would you say does puns better than Barbara? Anybody. Anybody. It's not that hard to do puns better than Barbara. Anybody at this point. I mean, ugh. Freaking Barbara. Can't stand her. Johnny Q asks, have you watched the anime Castlevania? If you did, what did you think? I haven't, but I have seen clips of it. It looks really good. So, I have been needing to get to it. And yeah, I do need to check it out for sure. I love the games of Castlevania. So, I definitely need to watch the anime and give it a check. Mr. DJ Fly asks, do you miss Ragequit? Until you brought it up, I totally forgot about it. I guess it kind of shows you how much it mattered. Because I totally forgot about it. I mean, I guess, kind of. Mr. Lonely Soul asks, how would you kill off Jean? Oh god, I would do it in multiple ways. In fact, to make it worse, I would just let Cinder do it. Just so that, he would just feel horrible because he lost to Cinder because Cinder was the one who took down Pyrrha. I'd have her just like burn him to death, or I would have her just completely just mutilate him while burning his body while he's feeling it like before he dies. That would be just fantastic. Or I'd have like the most harmless, pathetic Grim actually just kill him off, just show how weak and pathetic Jean is as a character. Oh, that'd be funny. Oh man, that'd be hilarious. God, I hate Jean. Yeah, good question. Good question. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, Joe Rogan podcast or Rooster Teeth podcast? Well, that's a no-brainer. Joe Rogan. Definitely Joe Rogan podcast over RT podcast. 100% of the way. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, what would you do if SCP-323 was in your room? I'd kill it. I'd get rid of it right then and there because that thing is a monster and I am not going to deal with that. Nope. I'd get it out. I would get it out of there. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, I am starting to think, after watching a review of The Last of Us Part 2, that Ruby's current theme during Volume 5 to perhaps Volume 7 is deconstruction. Ruby is actively trying to deconstruct your memory of characters from the Monty era in a way some will find challenging and interesting, while most will find it inelegant and unnecessary. This, adding with other deep themes and current social commentary, had made the story confusing as fuck. What do you think? I just think they don't know anything. I just think that they are just making the characters the way they want them to be. I don't think that they are genuinely trying to do anything other than pull a roundhead Ryan Johnson. They might want to try to subvert expectations, but I don't even think they know what they're doing. That's just me, though. But I think you have a good point there. I really do. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, any waifus from 90s anime? Oh, yeah, definitely. One of them being Sabrina from Pokemon. That's the thing. I've always loved Sabrina's character. And, back in the 90s when I saw her, in the anime, I loved Sabrina. I don't know. It's just something about her, that I always enjoyed. I always liked that mystery to her character, the psychic whole aspect of her as well. I really love it. I love her designs. I especially love the Heart Gold Soul Silver design. That was a really good redesign in my opinion. Another one is Ray from Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars. I've always liked Sailor Mars, and to this very day, she holds a special place because, she's waifu material, 100% in my opinion. Another big one is definitely Faye Valentine. She was definitely a badass character. I mean, being a bounty hunter, her personality. I mean, she definitely had personality, and her looks. I mean, what's not to love about Faye? She's a beautiful character, and, Cowboy Bebop goes down as one of the best anime in my book. Another one is Melfina from Outlaw Star. I mean, she may have been shy, but she had a lot of mystery to her character in that whole entire series. And God, I loved her character. She, I think, was a good balance for Gene as well in his character. You want to talk about an attractive android? It's definitely Melfina. Mr. DJ Flyhigh asks, do you see Jean more like Worf, son of Mog, or Miles O'Brien? Imagine if the Klingon Empire was to invade Remnant. Oh God, Remnant's gone. Klingons would win. Who is a better teacher, Ozpin or Picard? Picard, 100%. And I see Jean more like just trash. I see Worf as a good character. I just see Jean as trash. That's what I see him as. Just saying. Metalord 395 opening desk asks, who would you say is worse, Miles Luna or Neil Cuckman? Oh God. I'd say Neil Cuckman because, unlike Miles, Neil, DMCA channels. I bet if Miles could, though, if he could get away with it, oh, he'd do it. 100%. I bet he would. 100%. But, yeah, no, Neil Cuckman, trying to ruin people's careers, trying to silence people, no, I think he's worse. Sheerly because of that, though. Otherwise, Miles is pretty damn terrible. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, would you say Arknights shows discrimination against non-humans better than Ruby? If you do play Arknights, who is your favorite? Yes, I would say it does, since the writers, none of them know how to write discrimination whatsoever. And XUCI, however you say her name, she's my favorite so far. I mean, I've only started not long ago, but she so far is my favorite, and I did pull her, so that was awesome. Grandcaster asks, open-ended question, but is purpose inherent? That's a very good question. If I had to say, I'd probably go with yes. I mean, everyone has a purpose, and, people, go through with it. I wonder kind of more so if it might be fate than that one, but, I mean, it could be inherent. Purpose could be very inherent. That's something to think about. I mean, that's a good question, actually. Huh. It's a lot to think about. Mr. DJ Fly asks, most ultraviolet anime you ever saw? I'm not really sure. I am not really sure, actually. I'd have to get back to you on that one, because I am not sure. St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion by John Parr, or Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. Oh, Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds, man. That song. I love that song. Fantastic. I'll never forget the music video, man. Never forget it. Mr. DJ Fly High then asks, which is worse, Barbara with an OnlyFans account or seeing another Miles Luna hot take shitting on some character Monty worked on when he was alive. Oh, definitely the Miles hot take. I mean, yeah, Barbara with an OnlyFans sounds terrible, but to shit on a dead man's character again, she already did before. That's terrible. I mean, screw Miles for that. I mean, he's he's a horrible person. Can't stand him. So I would say that the hot take would be worse. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, if you worked at a SCP Foundation and the Grimm were an SCP, what number would they be? How do you think they would contain it if it was possible? Well, considering that Ruby, they contained it pretty easily, I think it would just be like CP number like 10,005. I don't know, just some random number, I guess. And they just kind of shock it into a room. Just be like, oh, there you go. Just saying, it's not that hard. Bigot Sandwich asks, would you rather live in the city of Rapture from Bioshock or the town of Silent Hill? I think I'd rather live in Rapture than Silent Hill. I mean, Silent Hill, that. Oh man, no thanks. I'd go with Rapture. There's a lot of stuff that goes down in Rapture, but I'd prefer it over Silent Hill. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, preferred Star Trek race, Kardashians, Klingon, Ferengi. And how would they fare in the reverse, and could they destroy Remnant? Oh, I mean, Klingons, and yeah, Klingons would very well be able to destroy them. I mean, I think that they would fare well. I mean, they could probably live in their own civilization because they'd be smart enough to be like, oh man, everybody else is stupid. So they try to avoid everybody else, and then if they went to war, they'd just destroy everything because they'd be pretty advanced in comparison to what Ruby is. Like, they'd ruin them. Old Man from Scene 24 asks, if Grimm showed up in real life, how easily would it be for us to destroy them? I mean, we'd probably just take a gun and shoot them. I mean, that's probably about it, because it's very easy for them to just go down in Ruby, so they'd probably be easy to just take down in real life. Mr. Lonely Soul asks, what makes a great redemption arc? Well, you take a character and say the character was evil, say they were selfish, but there was something that really changed them, like a person, that made them start to feel differently about the world or help them see the world in a different light, and they were to, maybe make a sacrifice for that individual. Or, they were to actually see the good through that person. That person helped them see a different side of the world that they didn't even view, and it made them want to change to become better. Here's a good example that a lot of people could understand. It's like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, for example, right? Vegeta, when you look at him, he was a villain at first. He was selfish. He wanted revenge on Frieza, right? And then, of course, after Frieza arc ends, then you have Vegeta who went to Earth because he had nowhere else to go, right? And he stuck around. He wanted to beat, Goku. That was the whole point. But, as he, got with Bulma, had a family, he then wanted to save the world because he actually cared enough about them. He got to the point to where he went from being this selfish individual to someone who kind of settled down and actually became selfless. It's a very interesting thing that Vegeta went through, and there was a lot of changes that made him become that person. Which I think was great because I think Vegeta is actually one of the best developed characters in all of Dragon Ball Z. But, that's just me. Assault Shaker asks, hey Nick, here's my questions for you. 1. If you prefer which creator is better, who would it be? Jonan Vosk, however you say that last name, or Maxwell Adams? I gotta go Maxwell Adams because Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is fantastic. Love it. If you can kill off one anime character you despise the most, who would it be? It would be Sasuke. I'm not a fan of Sasuke. That's just my preference, but that's who I'd kill off. If you own a Chow, what strategy and design would you give it? I'm not really sure what I'd give it in terms of strategy, but in terms of design, I did like the kind of imp-looking one. Like there was one that was kind of like a darker looking one with like little bat wings. I did think that one was kind of cool. Can you review SpongeBob season 4 through 10? Well, I dropped off after season 5 because after the creator left the show, I just felt like it wasn't very interesting. Reviewing cartoons like that isn't really my forte, especially considering I don't watch, American television anymore. But I just felt like SpongeBob itself, though, when I was watching it after season 3, because I think season 3, in my personal opinion, was the peak of it. I think after that, it just felt like a lost soul. It just wasn't as humorous, and the humor was just more so annoying rather than it was good. It was like it was just lowbrow, forced humor is what it felt like. That's the way I saw SpongeBob in seasons 4 and 5, and then like I said, it just dropped off because I just didn't care after that. And next question, can you read the script while doing a heavy from Team Fortress 2 impression? Yeah, I can give it a shot. I'm probably gonna be terrible at it, but let's give this a shot. I am Happy Weapons Guy, and this is my weapon. She weighs 150 kilograms and fires $200 custom tool cartridges at 10,000 rounds per minute. It costs $400,000 to fire this weapon for 12 seconds. Oh my god, who touched Sasha? Alright, who touched my gun? Some people think they can outsmart me. Maybe. Maybe. I've yet to meet one that can outsmart Bullet. Whoa! Cry some more! Cry some more. It was probably bad, but gave it a shot. Gave it a shot. Minato Arisato asks, what do you think is the most important when making a story? One of the most important things is, I think, the ending before you make the story. Now, the reason why I say that is because your ending is going to be the most important part, because that is how you're going to, obviously end the story. But you have to, put the dots together so that everything could make more sense to know your ending, because, that will be the way to be able to travel, to know how to point it in that direction to make that ending happen. So I think the most important thing is your ending, so that you'll know where to go to get to that ending. You know how to make sense of that ending rather than not knowing where you're going. They get confused, But that's just my way of seeing it. Anime 116 said, what do you think of my Ruby OC team? So these are all the characters, each and every single last one of them that I see here, which one of them, actually two of them look like Faunus from what I see here. But, if I had to say when I look at them, the one big thing is for a Ruby OC team, they look very Halo-like rather than so much Ruby, in my opinion. They look very Halo-inspired. But which nothing wrong with that. It just looks more like it's Halo than it does Ruby. From top to bottom is Frederick, Mendez, Aldrin, Joss, Maria, Saab, and Hannah Sapphire. I mean, that's pretty cool though. They're not bad, not bad. And ZX Cage asks, "What's your favorite sports team, Nick?" Well, I actually enjoy the Cincinnati Reds. That's just me though, but when it comes down to it, I am more of a baseball fan and a soccer fan than I am a fan of any other sport, really. But yeah, Cincinnati Reds, definitely my favorite. But yeah, that was a great question. But anyways, so that was the Q&A for June. Sorry it took so long to get out, editing it all together and everything. But hey, it was a load of fun. I enjoyed answering your questions, and I hope you enjoyed me answering them. And be sure to expect more content in the next couple of hours. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.